guys, Maggie Farmer with Ice Interior Design here. I'm going to show you how to do a really fun and easy DIY project today. We do these for a lot of the homes that we design for little fillers in their bookshelves. So we like to take old books and wrap them in fabrics that we have left over from fabrics that have been discontinued from one of our upholstery lines, because they leave us with all of them. So we have a huge bin in the back of fabric, and there's all kinds of cool prints. Some velvets, some not velvets, linens, all different kinds of stuff. So you can really wrap books with any fabric. So you could go to Hobby Lobby or Joann's or wherever, but we're gonna do a fun little giveaway at the end of this. So stay tuned to find out what the giveaway is. Watch till the end of the video and make sure to follow the rules so that you can be in the chances for winning. So now I'm gonna show you how to do this. So Danica, you can go over here to get a sky view. Don't fall out of the chair. And I'm gonna show you how this works. So this is all that you need to do this project. You need fabric, an old book, a glue gun, scissors, and a marker. You can get these old books at Half Price Books. They do a program called Books by the Yard, and it's $50 for a huge box full of old hardback books. That's where we get ours from. So I'm gonna do a little shortcut here so that we can speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna show you how I trace off the book. So I take a piece of fabric. I've already traced this one off, but I basically put the book about 1.5 inches from the end of the fabric, and I trace around the book all the way around, and then I stand it up on its end and trace where the end of, or the edge of the spine is, and then I flip it over and trace around that side of the book too. So whenever I pick it up, I have basically just this. Then I draw a border. I add 1.5 inches all the way around, and I draw 2 marks at the end of the spine so that I know to make these little cuts here, because it's easy to forget, and I forget almost every time. And what I like to do is cut it down, and it'll look like this. So this is on the wrong, this is the right side of the fabric. You're writing on the wrong side, the part you don't want showing. So I cut to where the edge of the book is here, where that point is. I cut off that part of the border on all 4 sides. I leave about 1/8 of an inch past the corner of the book just so that it wraps pretty. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. And then, as you see, I've forgotten to draw my little marks here for the slits again, because I do every time. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those really quick, and you'll understand what those are for in just a second when you see me wrap this puppy. So I'm just gonna cut those down. And you cut it to where the edge of the book is. To, not through. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this example guy. And since this is a swatch left over from one of the upholstery lines, it has this tag on it that's glued down like crazy glue. So I try to pull it off if I can. There we go, or at least most of it, just because it's thick and it's hard to wrap stuff with. So, okay, now I've got my piece of fabric. I'm gonna take my book and lay it down on that first line that I drew, and make sure that I have space beyond the corners. Can you see here, there's a little tiny overlay of fabric. I take my glue gun, and I open up to where it's just the cover. Make sure that cover's lined up. And then, sorry, I'm trying to do this and running out of cord on my hot glue gun. So I just make a little squiggle of glue, and I'm gonna take this fabric and wrap it over. Try to make a nice tight line there. And then I'm gonna pull it taut. See how I'm doing that? Then I'm going to shut that, and I'm gonna pull this over and pull it as tight as I can, and then open it up. And I'm going to do another squiggle of glue on this side. It does not have to be perfect. And then I'm going to pull it tight and glue it down again, as straight as I can get it. Good thing about hot glue is it takes a second for it to dry, so you have a couple seconds to maneuver. And I push it down flat like that to let it get good and glued. And then I'm gonna open it up to the other side since it's had a second to dry. And I'm gonna do the ends of the book. So remember we cut these slits, it's so that you can wrap this part and leave the spine out of it. See how it's leaving this little flap? Get that as tight as you can and then do the same thing on the other end. Ah! And if you get weird little things like this, you can just cut them off, no big deal. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So I like to put the cover up like this to glue it. Oh boy, burning my fingers. And then I'll show you how to fix these ugly corners in just a second. I'll get all these glued down first. Our last side. Smash it down real nice like. And then this is how you fix these gross corners. So I put a dot right here on the inside and I save a piece of paper that I have now lost. Hold on, must get it out of the trash. I've saved a piece of paper. You could use a piece of fabric if you want. But I push this fabric down like this and make a tight corner just so that I don't burn my fingers off. I'd like to have some kind of fingerprints. And then once it's kind of cooled off, then you can use your hands to mold it real good. But there you go. So I'm going to fix my ugly corners really quick. Oh, still burned myself. Oh yeah. Mama. That is hot. And I love the song that's on the radio right now. Don't know what it's called, but I like it. I think it's Casey Musgraves, isn't it? All right. You're going to get glue everywhere doing this, so beware. It's easy cleanup though, it's hot glue. So now I'm gonna do the spine. So you have these two little wingies left over, and I'm gonna cut it to where it's about 1/4 of an inch from the actual spine of the book on both sides. And then all you have to do is put some glue right here, right inside the spine. And you're gonna lay this over and kind of push the glue back up into there. So it'll look like this on the end. And again, remember, nobody's gonna be opening these books to read them, most likely. So a lot of these little details don't matter too much. So don't be too hard on yourself if it's starting to look a little frayed or anything, because the end result is going to look like this. And you're gonna put them in your bookshelf like this, where they all stack up together, or you could, you know, put books that aren't wrapped in between them for a little bit of variety. You can stack them like this, and it's gonna add a lot of texture and color to your bookshelves. So that's how you do it. Now let's talk about the little contest that we're gonna do. So what we're gonna ask you to do is to go through and watch this whole video, and then like our page and share the video to one of your friends, and then come back and comment that you have shared and who you shared to. At the end of the week, we're gonna go through and randomly pick one person, and we're gonna send you 20 of these fabric samples so you can make your own book. Books, plural. 20 books for that matter. So we're gonna send you all this fabric, and we would love to see what you've done with this video. If you try out this project, please comment below with a picture of your project. We'd love to see it. That is it for us today. Thanks, folks. Bye.